Okay, so today I'm doing my June TBR, talking all the books I plan to read for the final month for the first half of 2024. Can you believe that by the time I get through this TBR that I'm about to show you, we will be halfway through 2024? Because I certainly can't. Alright, let's jump right in and first of all talk about what I will not be reading, because I initially did plan to read from these works. So, first of all, I'm just going to bring up the Renegades trilogy by Marissa Meyer. Originally, I planned to read book 2 this month, coming in June, and yeah, I ended up DNFing book number 1 and therefore DNFing the entire trilogy, so obviously I will not be reading book number 2 in June, or book number 3 in July. Also, Red Queen Quartet by Victoria Aveyard, the dystopian series I was reading, I DNF'd the 3rd book. So, yeah. I'm not going to be reading the 4th book in that series for the month of June. I have made up for both these books by replacing them with one book, not one book each. I've taken both books and put one book in as a replacement, so I will be reading a total of 11 books in the month of June. So what are they? Let's get right on into it. Here is my June 2024 TBR. The first book I plan to read in the month of June 2024 is this book, Heartless Sky, by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. This is what I'm calling an adult book. It's technically new adult, but I'm calling it adult. An adult fantasy with a whole lot of spice. I kind of liken this series to the adult version of Harry Potter, where we have people who are who have come into and are studying elemental magic. But yeah, the spice level is way up there, so definitely an adult version of Harry Potter, if you will. I love this series so much and cannot wait to get back into this book. I think this is book number 6 or 7. It's book number 7. I got a copy that, I've got an edition that doesn't go with my other editions, and my editions I have so far of this series have the number of the book on the spine, but this copy doesn't. So I've reordered my copy, hoping I get the one that matches the glossy version of my other editions. But anyway, still looking forward to Heartless Sky, regardless of what edition I'm getting it in, whether it's the matte edition, which is what I have now, or the gloss edition, which is what I'm hoping is coming to me in the next couple of days. But I love this series, cannot wait to get back into it. The next book I'm going to read in June of 2024 is technically a reread for me, but that is because this book that I've read has now become a trilogy, and I'm going to read the whole trilogy this year. So since it's been a while, I decided I'll start by rereading book 1 and then read book 2 and book 3. And book 1 in this series is called Boyfriend Material and is by Alexis Hall. This is the first book in the London Calling trilogy. So as I say, I've read this book, but I have not read book 2, and I have not read book 3. I absolutely devoured this book when I originally read it. I do not remember what year I read this in. It was a while ago now, but I devoured this book. I remember that we follow a guy by the name of Luke, who is reluctantly famous because he is the child of 2 rock stars. He has gotten into a lot of legal trouble here and there, and to try and smarten up his image, he's working for this charity company, but unfortunately he's getting into a whole lot of scandals and things like that. So to smarten up his image, the leader of the charity suggests that he find himself a fake boyfriend to look better in the eyes of the media, and he comes across Oliver, who is just absolutely fantastic, and things move forward from there. I loved following Luke in this book. There's not a lot of things I remember from books that I've read a very long time ago, but I remember loving following Luke in this particular book, and cannot wait to do the reread. It has been long enough that I don't remember the majority of what happens, and can't wait to get back into this one so that I can then continue on with what has now become a trilogy. This, by the way, is an adult LGBTIQ+ male-male romance. The next book I'm planning to read is this book, Lethal Lobster by Hope Callahan. This is book number 3 in the Cruise Ship Cozy Mystery series. I love this series, even though I'm only up to book 3. The first 2 books have just been so fantastic. We follow this elderly woman by the name of Millie, who her husband has cheated on her with, of all people, Millie's hairdresser, and Millie has decided she wants to change her life. So she applies to become an assistant cruise director of this cruise ship, fully expecting she's not going to get the job, but she does get the job. So she ends up aboard this cruise ship, and in the very first book, a murder happens, and Millie falls into that cozy mystery trope of becoming the amateur sleuth, and it was a whole lot of fun. I also enjoyed book 2. We'll talk about that in my monthly wrap, but this is so much fun. I am not a nautical adventure person by any means when it comes to my reading, but I love being on this cruise. The focus is not on the water, but on the ins and outs and goings on of the actual cruise itself, and it's been a whole lot of fun. I highly recommend the series if you haven't read it yourself, and cannot wait to get on to book number 3. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I replaced my Red Queen and Renegades books that I was going to read this month with one book, and that just so happens to be the Cruise Ship Cozy Mystery Series book number 4, which is called Deadly Deception, again by Hope Callahan. Yeah, I just figured if I was going to replace it with anything, I might as well replace it with more Cruise Ship Cozy Mystery Series. I love this series so much, and this is just a random series that I ended up adding onto my SAS list when I DNF'd the Coffee House mystery series by Cleo Coyle. And so I don't have any strict guidelines in as far as my TBR is concerned with this series. I'll get as far in as I can, as I want to. And so might as well double up on my Cruise Ship Cozy Mystery series reading. I'm really looking forward to having a double dose of Millie and her adventures on the cruise ship. So yes, the 4th book I'm going to read is book number 4 in the Cruise Ship Mystery Series, Deadly Deception by Hope Callahan. Both this one and book number 3 are adult cozy mysteries. The next book that I plan to read is this book, Practice Makes Perfect by Jay Northcote. This is an adult, male, steamy, like 10 out of 10 steam book. There are words we can use, but we'll just say it is incredibly spicy, so just know that going in. This is book number 3 in the Housemates series by Jay Northcote. I love this series. I really enjoyed book number 1. I really enjoyed book number 2. It's just a great male spicy series, and if you're looking for something like that, I highly recommend it. All of the books have been relatively short, but they all pack a massive punch, and they've been great. I've enjoyed each one so far. So I'm looking forward to getting into book number 3, and once I finish this book, I will be I'll be halfway, because there's 6 books in this series. So yeah, very much looking forward to this one. As I said, this is an adult male 10 out of 10 spice type read. The next book I plan to read is finally another Minna Lima. I have had this particular book on me for a while. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but my grandparents gave this to me for Christmas, and I'm so happy to finally get to it. I have every single Minna Lima classic book, and this is the last one I need to read to have read every single one of their classic books. So this one is called The Brothers Grimm, Snow White and Other Grimm's Fairy Tales, and as I said, it's illustrated by Minna Lima, Minalima. I love my Minna Lima editions. They are just so classically beautiful. You just have to see a picture of one online or hold one up, as I'm doing right now. Even though it's an audio, I'm still holding the books. You can't change, a habit. Even though you can't see me, I still hold the books up as though you can. There you go, I'm just tapping on the book. Yeah, these books are just absolutely beautiful. They cost more, but to my mind, they are worth it. So yeah, clearly this one is going to be Snow White as well as other fairy tales. In one of the earlier books in this classics collection series of Minna Lima was Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. And so that was literally what that book said it was. It was Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales that Hans Christian Andersen had wrote. So this one will clearly be Snow White as well as other fairy tales that the Grimm's brothers wrote. And so I'm really looking forward to reading this, and looking forward to completing my read works of Minna Lima. This is an adult classic, by the way. The next book I'm going to read is this book, Blossoms, Barbecue, and Blackmail. I hope that's right. Let's just double check. Yes, it is. Okay, I don't want to get the order wrong. Blossoms, Barbecue, and Blackmail, which is book number 20 in the Campers and Criminals Cozy Mystery Series by Tonya Kappas. It is an adult cozy mystery series, and I believe at the moment, or by the end of the year, one of the two, there's going to be 36 of these books out, and so being up to 20, I am getting there. We are doing a buddy read of the Campers and Criminals series over on my Discord. If you'd like to join us, please do. They are a whole lot of fun, and yeah, we're basically following this woman by the name of Mae West, whose husband not only cheated on her, but she found out that he scammed a lot of people, and all he left her was this very rundown caravan park. So she moves in there and she tries to turn things around at the caravan park. But every single book, as you would expect with a cozy, there is a murder and she has to try and solve the murder. It's just been a whole lot of fun, not only getting to know May, but all the other characters that are at the caravan park, including the laundry club ladies. May's formerly adoptive mother is also in the caravan park at the moment, so it's been great meeting her. We also have her former adoptive brother who's moved into the caravan park, and recently another adopted sister has moved in. So we're getting to really know May's family as we progress throughout this series, and of course not to mention the love interest, who is Hank, who is a very reliable, or seemingly reliable, love interest to my mind as well. I love Dottie's swaggered. I have to be honest, Dottie is May's co-worker, employee, if you will. She is an old widow who chain smokes all the time, but my goodness, does she come up with these amazing one-liners that just keep the book so entertaining. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Dottie is going to get up to. But yeah, that will be the next one for me. Blossoms, Barbecue, and Blackmail. Now, we try to read 3 Campers and Criminals books per month, so therefore the next book I'll be reading is this one, Lanterns, Lakes, and Larceny, again by Tonya Kappas, book number 21 in the Campers and Criminals Cozy Mystery series, and this one also, obviously, an adult cozy mystery. And the next book will be that 3rd book of the month for the series. It is Jackets, Jack-O-Lanterns, and Justice by Tonya Kappas, book number 22 in the Campers and Criminals Cozy Mystery series. Again, an adult cozy mystery. Alright, which leaves us to my final 2 books, and the first of which, the second last book I plan to read in June, being this book, 5 Go Off to Camp by Enid Blyton. This is book number 7. I hope this is in the right order. Yes, it is. This is book number 7 in the Famous 5 series. I have read maybe 5 of the 21 books that are in this series so far. I have not read 5 Go Off to Camp before, so I am very much looking forward to that. I have a goal. I had a goal from the start of January through to the end of December of this year to get through all 21 books in this series, and so far it has been an absolute delight reading all the Famous 5 books that I've read. Again, I have not read 5 Go Off to Camp, so it's a new to me book, and I'm very excited to get into it. For those of you who don't know, the Famous 5 series follows a group of 5 beings, 4 people, 1 dog. We follow Julian, Dick, George, and Anne. George was actually born as Georgina, but she'll only answer to the name George because she's a tomboy. And George has a dog whose name is Timmy, and the 5 of them together go off on amazing adventures. I mean, if you wanted to read something that kind of reads like a middle grade cozy mystery series, I would recommend the Famous 5, because it's like you have these amateur sleuths that are children, and it's just really, really fun. I highly, highly recommend it. Anything like secret ways or secret passages that can come up usually do, and the way that they all work together with all of the gifts that each one has is fantastic. Like, for example, Anne is a lot more demure than the rest of them, but that can work in certain scenarios. Julian is the oldest. That works in certain scenarios. Timmy being the dog, he's the guard dog, and that works in certain scenarios. And so it's just a really fun read. As I said, I have not read 5 Go Off to Camp, but I'm looking forward to it. And the final book that I will be reading for the month of June 2024 is this book, 5 Get Into Trouble by Enid Blyton, which is book number 8 in the Famous 5 series by Enid Blyton. Both of these books Famous Five books I classify as middle grade classics. And with this one, Five Get Into Trouble, I actually have read this before. Yeah. Kinda was scary reading this one when I was a child, so I'm looking forward to reading it as an adult. All I remember is that, without giving away any spoilers, the five get into trouble because they end up being trapped in a house and they then being kept prisoner, and it really freaked me out as a kid reading this book, so I'm really looking forward to reading it as an adult with a mature mind and seeing how things go from there. But my goodness, what an incredible 11 books I plan to get to in the month of June. And then once that's done, we'll be halfway through the year. And in July, I'll be doing my favorites and non-favorites for the first half of the year when it comes to books. I cannot believe we are nearly at that halfway mark. So let's put them all up on the screen for you to have a look at all at once. Up. These are all the books I plan to read in the month of June 2024. Obviously not forgetting that I have DNF'd the Renegades trilogy and the Red Queen quartet, so that's why they are not featuring here, but I am very excited to get to each and every single one of these books. Very quick update before I forget to tell you. For those of you interested in the Ravaged trilogy by Ian Rob Wright that I'm planning on reading, Ravaged World, that is called. Book number 1, the audiobook, is now re-available, but book number 2's audiobook is not yet available. So while my goal was to have read all 3 of those books by now, there's been a bit of a delay. So right now I'm just waiting for book number 2 to come out in audiobook, and once it does, I'll place all 3 of those books onto that same month's TBR and get through them all at once. But yeah, those are all of your updates. Looking forward to reading all of these books. What books are you looking forward to picking up in the month of June? Until next time, I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye, everyone.